So just tuck those away, okay? Okay, so we are going to spend our day solving lots of exponential and lots of log problems, okay? Okay, everybody write down the word stuck. We've done this. This is now probably the third time. When you're stuck, what do you do, everybody? You convert it, okay? Now, what I want you to do right now is I want you to just look forward, and you don't even have to write any of this down, okay? If I had an equation, e to the x minus 2 is equal to 7, okay? That's an exponential form. The things that are stuck in my exponential, the things that are part of the exponential, are the base and the exponent. Is there anything else on that left side besides what I highlighted? No. So that's stuck. Now, if I had a 2 sitting in front, I would not be stuck because I would divide by 2. Who says I understand that? Okay. What if it wasn't a 2? What if I had like a minus 1 right there? Same thing. Not stuck. The base and the exponent are not alone. I'd move my 1. Okay. Everybody look right here. Is that equation stuck? You tell me. It is not stuck. The answer to the question, it is not stuck. Who said, I knew that wasn't stuck? Why? I got a lot of people saying, yeah, you're stuck. This is not stuck. What is on the left-hand side that is not part of the log, everybody? The 7. How do you know the 7's not part of the log? Because there are no what? Parentheses. If there were parentheses, now I'm stuck. Because in the x and the 7 are embedded in the log, no parentheses, the 7 is not embedded in the log. Who says I got you? Okay, one more thing I want to say, and then we're going to start. What if it looked like that? Stuck or not stuck? Not stuck. So I really need you to understand the difference between being stuck and not stuck, okay? That's really a key part right here. Okay, everybody go to question 1. This is what I had my 10-10 students do yesterday. I said, highlight the base, highlight the exponent. Those are all one thing, all embedded together. Is there anything else on the left-hand side over there with it? No. So I'm stuck. So I convert. I'm going to convert it into log. So this is log base 5 of the other side, which is a 10, is equal to x minus 2. Then to solve for x, I pull my 2 over, and everybody write x equals 2 plus log base 5 of 10. I would not write log base 5 of 10 plus 2, because then the next line you're going to write log base 5 of 12, which is false. The 10 is part of the log, the 2 is a separate thing. Am I required to check my answer? Tell me that.
No.
I am not required. Everybody tell me why I'm not.
The original is not a log.
Good. Everybody in the room, grab your calculator. Okay, hands in your calculator, every single person. I am not required to check this. But if this were on quiz 3 or test 3, I would be crazy not to check it. I think like 60% of quiz 3 and test 3 is checkable. So why wouldn't you check it? That'd be crazy. Everybody go 2 plus log 10, close it off, divided by log 5, close it off, store, enter. Then the original left-hand side that I have highlighted, put that in. So everybody go 5 to the, freeze right there and tell me what I have to put in. A parenthesis. Because in the exponent, I have x minus 2, 2 things. So I have to go parenthesis. Membar, enter, minus 2, close it, enter. I just checked it. I got a 10. Okay, so if you have a problem that's solving x equals something, there's not any more variables over there, you can always check it. Okay, here we go with question B. Every person in the room, what am I going to ask you? Are you stuck, right? What's the answer to the question? No. What do? Move your 2 over, right? So you have 4 to the x power is equal to 8. Are we stuck now, everybody? Yes, we are. So you convert it. So it's going to be log base 4 of 8 is equal to x. Now, is it possible to write log base 4 of 8 as log base 4 of 4? Can I manipulate the 8 and write it as a 4 to the something? No. If this were like a 2, log base 2 of 8, then sure I could. but it's not a 2, and I can't write a 4 as anything, so that's not going to work out. So I'm done, okay? I do not have permission to write it as a decimal. How do I get permission? Tell me that. They tell you. Yeah, otherwise don't do it, okay? Okay, this question is difficult. It's difficult. I'm just going to tell you straight up, okay? So you're going to want to stick really close to me. It's long, and it's kind of tough. Okay, look at the 6 and 2. If I could get my bases the same, it would be so sweet, right? I would just set the exponents equal to each other. The biggest number is a 6. Can I switch a 6 to a 2 to the something? Tell me that. No, I can't, okay? So right here, I want you to write the word weird. I know it's weird to write the word weird, but that little word is going to go, oh yeah, it's weird. So you have to do that one method, okay? Why is it weird? Because I can't turn a 6 into a 2. So if it's weird, what you're going to do is you're going to take the log of both sides. The only time I ever want you to take the log of both sides is if it's weird, okay? So look what we have, guys. We have the log of 6 raised to the x minus 3 is equal to the log of 2 raised to the x. Now freeze for just a second. Eyes right here. Here's a place where people mess up. People go log base 6 of x minus 3 is equal to log base 2 of x. That's wrong. So the 6 is still on the normal level. The x minus 3 is an exponent. Same with the 2 and the x. So I don't change any levels at all. Okay? What do you think we do now? Just take a guess. We've done it a ton. Pull those exponents down. Okay? So now I have x minus 3 log 6 equals x log 2. I want you to look forward. I've made a mistake. I did it on purpose. It's a common mistake. Find it. What did I do? Go ahead.
Does the x minus 3 in parentheses around it?
Why do you have to put the x minus 3 in parentheses?
Because it would just distribute only the 3.
Yes, they're both supposed to be multiplied by log 6, not just the negative 3. So be careful. Now let's distribute. And you have x log 6 minus 3 log 6 is equal to x log 2. Now everybody freeze. I'm trying to solve for x's. Remember the Bell quiz? Listen to this. Remember the Bell quiz question 2? When you cross multiply and you have y's on both sides. So you have to get the y's on the other, the one side, the non-y's on another, factor out the y and divide. Who says I'm with you? That's exactly what we're going to do here. So we've got x's on both the right and the left. So let's get them all on one side. I'm going to take this guy and pull him that way. So then I have x log 2 minus x log 6 equals negative 3 log 6. Okay? I'm trying to solve for x. Tell me what to do now. Come on, what did we do on the Bell quiz? Pulled out. Tell me what to do. Come on. Take out an x. When I take out an x, I'm left with log 2 minus log 6 equals negative 3 log 6. I'm trying to solve for x. This log 2 minus log 6 is multiplied. So I'm going to divide by log 2 minus log 6, both sides. Now, you wouldn't really have to show the left. I just did that so because people get confused. So my answer is x equals negative 3 log 6 divided by log 2 minus log 6. That's it. Okay. Oh, I was going to tell you guys something. I can't remember. I'll remember in a second. Okay, who says I'm good? I followed that. Okay, let's keep going. Here's D. Look at the problem. I'm just throwing them all, I'm mixing them all up, which I think is good. You have to be ready, okay? What am I going to ask you? Are you stuck? Let's answer the question. You are. You've got your base of E. You've got your exponent. There's nothing else over there. So I convert it to log. So it's log base E of 25. That's ln 25 is equal to x. And I'm literally done that fast. If you write that as log base e of 25 equals x, will you get credit for that?
Yes.
Yes, you will. It's the same thing. Okay. Question E. Everybody in the room, tell me step 1. Move your 5 over, right? So you have 3e to the x minus 1 is 14 minus 5, which is 9. Do I convert right now, guys? Tell me. No. What do I have to get rid of? The 3. So you divide by 3. E to the x minus 1 is equal to 3. Am I stuck now? You guys are stressing me out. Am I stuck now?
Yes.
Yes. So when you're stuck, you convert. So it's log base e of 3. So that's ln 3 equals x minus 1. Pull your 1 over. Please don't write ln 3 plus 1. I mean, I'm just telling you, if you write it like that half the time, 50% of the time people write ln 4, which is wrong. The 1 is separate. So write it as 1 plus ln 3, and you're done. And if that's on the test and you don't check it, that's crazy. I wouldn't maybe check it on the homework. I would check a couple just to make sure I know how to, but I would definitely check on the others, okay? Okay, guys, look. Here's your base. Here is your exponent. The 3 is not part of the exponential. Do this for me. Up above that, I want everybody to write 3y minus 18 equals 0. When you look at that problem that's given to you, I need you to see it as 3y minus 18 equals 0, because that base and that exponent is all one thing, just like a y. I know everybody in this room can solve 3y minus 18 equals 0. What's the first step, everybody? Divide, or move your 18, right? So you have 3 times 2 to the 3x minus 4 is equal to 18. Your brain sees 3y equals 18. Tell me what to do. Divide by 3. So you have 2 to the 3x minus 4 is 18 divided by 3, which is 6. What do I do here now, guys? You convert because you're stuck. Good. So this is going to be log base 2 of the other side, which is a 6, is equal to 3x minus 4. Pause for just a second and let's just take note of this. Can I write that log as log base 2 of 2? Is that going to be an option? No. It's not. So if it is, let's do it right now. It's not an option. Move your 4 over. So you have 3x equals 4 plus log base 2 of 6, divide by 3, and you get x equals 4 plus log base 2 of 6 divided by 3. Box or highlight your answer and you're done. Okay, we're going to do something right here. We're going to check it, okay? The check is complicated, and I want to make sure that you know how to check it because it is super important. When you guys, logs are all over your final, and you're going to study for your final for about 12 hours. And by the time you take it, it's so empowering to know how to check it. After all that studying, you can spend a minute, 30 seconds per problem and check them, and it's wonderful. Okay, let's do this. Every person in the room, calculator in your hand, okay? On the top of my answer, there are 2 things. Therefore, I have to input parentheses. Now, it does get complicated because putting log base 2 of 6 is also complex, right? So do this with me. Everybody go parenthesis. 4 plus log 6, close it, divided by log 2, close the 2, close at the top. So I have to do double close. Divided by 3, store, enter. On your calculator screen right now, you should have 2.19. Okay, now let's go into that green. So everybody go 3 times 2, raise it to the parenthesis, 3, membar, enter, minus 4, close your parenthesis, minus 18, hit enter. I just checked my answer. Okay, I know you know how to check. That one was just a little complicated, so I wanted to do that together. Okay, all right, here we go with question G. Okay, this one's probably the most complicated we've done so far. This section is highlighted that it's on the final, right? Have we done any yet?
Yes,
the last one.
the last one we did.
Okay, let's see that last one. Yeah, that was okay, right? Are there any others?
On the next page.
Next page. Okay, let me know when we get there, would you please? Okay, so here's question G. This is for sure the toughest we will have done at this point, okay? Okay, look at, my bases are different. Let's just focus on the left. On the left, the bases are the same. If the bases are the same, the base is going to stay the same. It's not going to go to a 9. Like if I had x to the second times x to the third, I would never write that as y to the fifth. That doesn't make sense. The base stays 3. What do I do to the x and the negative 4? What do I do to those exponents? Add them or multiply them? Add those. So I'm just going to go x minus 4. I'm just going to put them together. Okay. On the right hand side, 4 raised to the 4 minus 2x. Now, you guys, just so you know, there are many, many, many ways to solve these problems. I always just choose the route that I think you're going to be the most successful at, okay? It would be nice if I could turn my 4 into a 3. You always turn the big guy into the little guy. Can I turn a 4 into a 3? No. So what am I going to do? What kind of a problem is this? I definitely heard some people saying, this is a weird problem. Write down the word weird. From now on, when you hear the word weird, go, oh yeah, that's the one where I can't get them the same, so therefore I do what? What do we do? Take the log of both sides. So it's the log of 3 raised to the x minus 4 is equal to the log of 4 raised to the 4 minus 2x. Freeze for 2 seconds. Look forward. Compare mine to what you wrote. Did you write the x minus 4 and the 4 minus 2x on your paper as exponents? If you didn't, that's wrong. The 3 is not subscript. The 4 is not subscript. It's same level exponents. Who says I understand? That's a common mistake. Tell me what to do now. Pull them down, right? So you have x minus 4 that you must put in parentheses times log 3. Then you have 4 minus 2x that you must put in parentheses, and that's times log 4. Why do they have to be in parentheses? Because the next step is to do what? Tell me one word. Distribute. We got to multiply those out, right? So now we have x log 3 minus 4 log 3 equals 4 log 4 minus 2x log 4. What do I do right here?
Take all the x's.
Yep. X is on one side, non-x is on another. So this x log 3 is going to stay here. This negative 2x log 4 comes over and becomes a positive 2x log 4. This 4 log 4 is going to stay there. The negative 4 log 3 comes over and becomes a positive 4 log 3. You guys, if I ask you a question and you don't respond, it's frustrating to me. And I get one polite and kind person that responds, and I'm not getting a lot of other responses. So I have to communicate with you that you're connecting. If I'm not connecting with you, I'm not doing my job. Okay? So when I ask you a question, I'm begging you to please answer me so I can gauge if you understand. I want us to be successful. Okay? Yes.
If you moved it the other way, would it still be the same?
Yes, and we're going to talk about that. Okay? So remind me when I'm done, because within 30 seconds I'll probably forget that we said that. Okay, tell me what to do now. 35, there's about 38 people in this room. 38 voices. What do we do now? Take out an x. When you take out an x, you're left with log 3 plus 2 log 4 equals 4 log 4 plus 4 log 3. What do I do now? Divide. You know what people say to me? They say, I don't know what goes on the top and what goes on the bottom. Does the 4 log 4 go on the top and the log 3 on the bottom, or is it vice versa? Well, you guys, you always divide by what's multiplied by the x. So you're dividing by log 3 plus 2 log 4 to get rid of that so that your x is alone. So your answer is x equals 4 log 4 plus 4 log 3 divided by log 3 plus 2 log 4. Did I make a mistake? Go ahead, honey.
No, I'm just wondering, should you take out the 4 on the 4 log 4 plus 4 log 3?
They want you to simplify completely, and simplify completely means I don't have any parentheses in my answer, so no. Okay, anybody else, questions? Okay, that's it. I know what I was going to say. Okay, I remembered. I'm going to try to make this as easy of an explanation as I can. Okay, so we just listen for 2 seconds. If I have the number 4 over 3, just listen and get this in your brain. And I multiply the top by a negative and the bottom by a negative. I multiplied by a negative over negative, which is what? Positive. So did I really do anything wrong to that 4/3? No. Multiplying something by a positive doesn't change it, right? Who says I understand? So on this problem, the only reason you would ever have to know this, is if you were comparing answers with a friend and your signs were completely off, or if you were checking your answer on a review or an extra credit and your signs were completely off. So watch. If I multiply the top by a negative and the bottom by a negative, I haven't done anything wrong because a negative over negative is a positive. And then if I distribute that, I'd get a negative 4 log 4 minus 4 log 3 divided by negative log 3 minus 2 log 4, and that is completely acceptable. And if you move things to the opposite sides, that's what happens. It tweaks the signs. It's totally fine. No problem. Okay? All right, that was question G. Here's question H. I've got different bases. The lefts are 3s. This does not go to a 9. An x multiplied by an x does not go to a y. So please don't change that to a 9. Then you add the exponent. So I'm just going to go x squared minus 4 is equal to the 9 raised to the 4 minus 2x. Okay? Is this weird? It is not weird. If you make it weird, if you do the log of both sides, it's probably 4 times tougher than it needs to be. It's not weird. Because I can turn a 9 into a what, everybody? 3. Freeze right here and let me show you something. Eyes up. Please don't write. Okay? Look. Very common. Well, I wouldn't say very common. Common. Is that right? I wrote the whole thing down exactly the way it is, but then I squared the 3. I can't just randomly like square one side. I can't do that. So you don't change the little guy. Leave the little guy alone. You change the big guy, okay? So leave the 3 a 3. Put parentheses where the 9 was. Leave the exponent the same. So I wrote it exactly the way it was up above. I'm just going to replace the 9 with, tell me, 3 squared. Now I'm going to do the power to a power rule. Power to a power rule says you multiply. So you take that 2 and you distribute it, and it's 8 minus 4x. Who says I'm with you? Let me see who's with me. Okay, if 3 to this equals 3 to that, then those things must be equal to each other. So x to the second minus 4 must be equal to 8 minus 4x. Okay? Please don't ever say the 3's disappear. Nothing disappeared. I evaluated it. I realized the exponents must be the same, so I set them equal to each other. Okay? Look at what we've got. Should I move my 4 to the right? No. Is that a good step? What do I do?
Bring them
all to one side. Doesn't matter which side. And then what are we going to do after that? We're going to factor. So bring all these things over that way, and you get x to the second plus 4x. The 8 comes over and becomes a positive, so you have plus 4 equals 0. Then I'm going to factor, so it's going to go to x and x. Signs are the same, they're both positive. 2 and 2 multiply to give me 4 and add to give me 4. Did I do something wrong? Add 4x. Oh, yeah. I'm actually glad that happened because I was like, I don't want them to be the same. Okay, so minus 12 equals 0. Thank you. Now let's factor. So that's going to go to x and x, 6 and 2. Signs are different. Biggest is the positive. Looks like that. X minus 2 gives you a 2. X plus 6 gives me a negative 6. Are we done? Do you have to check? Why don't you have to? Because it's not a log. We're done. We're done. Would I check it on a quiz or a test? For sure. For sure. Okay? All right, let's keep going. Example 2. Consider the equation. What is a valid first step? So Weber State loves these questions. What is a correct first step? And you should love the questions because they're so easy. So look at the problem. Are we stuck?
No.
What do? Divide by 5. So the answer is 3 to the 4x is equal to, tell me, 4. We could only hope that that would be on your final, right? Everyone would get it right. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did before. It's going to feel the same. The only difference is these are given in log form. Okay. Take your highlighter and I want you to highlight the ln. And then I want to just talk to you for a second. Is the 2 embedded in that ln?
No.
It is not. Is the 5 embedded in the ln?
Yes.
Yes, it is. How about the x? Yes. How about the negative 3? No. Up above this, I want you to write 2y minus 3 equals 9. If I can get you to see it like that, I know you can get it right. Everybody, you know now the first step. What do? Add 3. So you have 2 times the ln of 5x is equal to 12. Are we stuck? What do? Divide by 2. So you have the ln of 5x is equal to 6. Are we stuck? Yes. Now we're stuck, so now we convert. You guys see that ln? I'm going to write it as log base e. Do you have to write it as log base e? No. It's easier for you to see what I'm doing if I write it as log base e. So now I convert it, and it's e to the other side, which is a 6, is equal to 5x. To solve for x, I divide, and I get e to the 6th over 5. Do I have permission to write it as a decimal? No. Am I done with the problem?
No.
I am not done. Why am I not done? Check, right? Everybody write the word check. Now I want you to freeze for a second. If you go ahead of me and you're not listening, then you get what you get. My students have notoriously been poor at their check. They don't write down what they're supposed to. They don't think it's important, and they just kind of write a bunch of stuff that's not good. I am picky about your check. This is the line that I must see. I must see the word check. Then where do you go to check? What part of that problem? Tell me. It has to be, tell me, the beginning. Always, 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 always from the initial problem. Not the second step, not the third step, the beginning. Okay, so this is what your check has to look like, or you're not going to get credit. You have to go to ln bracket 5 parenthesis e to the 6th over 5, close your parenthesis, close your bracket, minus 3 equals 9. Now, that does not look very fun. Listen what we're going to do. We're going to grab our calculator, and we're going to store that in our calculator. Then when I put it in right there, I'm going to hit membar, and it's going to be much easier. Okay, grab your calculator. Every person in the room should be punching in your calculator. Here we go. Second ln. 6, close it, divided by 5, store, enter. If it's complicated, store it. It's going to be easier. Now put in the left side of your check right here, this stuff. Okay, everybody go to ln 5 memvar, enter, close it, -3, enter, and I got 9 equals 9. So I know it's going to work out. Okay? Who says I'm good? Okay, I want to say something right now. Listen right here. Sometimes I want to tell you things, and then I'm afraid because you already have so much that you're trying to remember, and now I'm pushing you over the top. But I don't feel like this is going to push you over the top. So everybody listen. This is important. There's only 2 circumstances that when you get your answer, it will not check out. And we're going to run into one today, or several, that don't check. Someone tell me even one of those 2 things. Why would your check fail? Go ahead.
If the log is negative, it would be
If you're taking the log of a negative, that's the big one. Yes. Why else would it fail? Well, you solved it wrong. So you either made a mistake or you're taking the log of a negative. That is the only way they're going to fail. Who says I understand? I got that. Okay, great. Let's do this one. Question B is pretty easy. If the ln of this is equal to the ln of that, then this and that must be the same. So 3x minus 2 must be x plus 1. Move my x over, it becomes a negative, so I have a 2x. Move my 2 over, it becomes a positive, so I get a 3. Divide, and I get x equals 3 over 2. If I wrote that as 1.5, is that acceptable? It is. It is. You know why? I didn't round. 3 over 2 is exactly 1.5, so we're good. The rounding decimal is where you need permission. Yes?
So what you were saying is like, even if our answer is right, and we check it with the log of a negative, then it's not good.
Correct. And we're going to run into that in just a second to kind of clear that up for you, okay? Everybody write the word check. And then I want you to go ln bracket 3, 1.5 minus 2, close your bracket, equals ln bracket 1.5 plus 1, close your bracket. This is what your check must look like. So everybody go ln 3 times 1.5 minus 2, close it, enter, and I get 0.916. I'll be looking for the 0.916 on your tests and quizzes or whatever the number is. If you don't have it, you don't get credit. Right hand side, ln 2.5, close it off, enter 0.916. So I know I'm good. There's my answer and I'm done. Okay? Okay, question C. Many, many, many ways to do this problem. What would you do? Someone tell me what you would do. Look at it. Go ahead. You absolutely could do that. Then you could condense and convert. Totally acceptable. There's an easier way. There's an easier way. Look what I see. I see log base 4 equals log base 4. So if I could get log base 4 of this and log base 4 of that, then I know this and that are the same. Who says I understand? How can I do that? Pull those up. Exactly. So now I have log base 4 of x to the negative first equals log base 4 of 3 to the second. Well, if log base 4 of this is log base 4 of that, then this and that must be the same. So x to the negative first must be equal to 3 squared, which is 9. Now this is just a little bit confusing. What's terrible right there? The negative. Fix it. What do? How do you fix a negative exponent? Pull it down, right? So that's going to be 1 over x equals 9. How do I solve that? Very easily. It's funny, and I don't know why. I think some teachers before me have pushed you away from this, but it's such an easy task, and it solves it so many times. Nobody can tell me what I want you to do. What is it? Yes, but I think of it a different way. Just cross multiply. Yeah. You just make it a fraction and cross multiply. If you ever have a fraction equals a fraction, cross multiply is a home run. It's so easy. So you have 9x equals 1, divide by x equals 1/9. Am I done? No. Literally, you have to write the word check, then go negative log base 4 of 1/9 equals 2 times log base 4 of 3. I want you to put it in your calculator by yourself, okay? So I want to see if you can get the same number on the right as the left. The only way it won't is if you're taking the log of a negative or if we made a mistake, and we did not make a mistake. And I don't see a log of a negative, so it should work out. I got 1.58 on both sides. Did you? Okay, awesome. Is there any possible way that that answer is wrong? Any chance of it being wrong now that I've checked it? Nope, it's right. You know you're right. Okay, here we go.
This is the highlight.
Say it again. This is the highlight. Okay, question D.
D, E, F.
All of them? Okay, so that's good because these are pretty easy, I think. Okay, so write this down up above. Thank you for letting me know. No, don't say 2. Say multiple, because it could be more than 2. Multiple logs and a number that is not 0. Look what we've got. Log, number that's not a 0. Okay, you're going to tell me what to do. Okay, somebody mentioned it already. What would you do right here? Don't split the logs apart. That's not going to be good. What do? You're exactly right. You condense. Step 1, condense those logs. So those are added. So when I squish them, they're going to be multiplied. Okay, now look forward for just a second. Look at what I have right there, and then compare it to this. Do you see how much safer that is? I think it's safer. I like brackets. Okay, what am I going to ask you right now? Are you stuck? What's the answer? Yes, you are. So what do? Convert. That's step 2. Condense and then convert. So you have, there's no base there. So what is it? 10. So you have a 10 raised to the other side, which is a 1, is equal to whatever I haven't written down yet, which is x times x minus 9. Distribute the x to the second, minus 9x equals 10. In the past, I've had students not know what to do here. I've had students move the 9x over in square root. That's not correct. What do? Move your 10. Because what are we setting ourselves up to do? Factor. So you have x to the second minus 9x minus 10 equals 0. Then you factor, and you get an x and an x. 10 goes to 10 and 1. Signs are different. Biggest is the negative. Looks like that. So I have 2 answers. They are -1 and +10. Are we done? I want to ask you something before we check. Just because an answer has a negative sign, does that mean it will fail? No, it doesn't mean that. Okay, so since we're checking 2 things, go x equals -1. And then go log -1. Now freeze right there. I'm plugging it into the original. The second I write that down, I know it's failed. because I'm taking the log of a negative. But I need to finish my sentence, okay? So go plus log of -1 minus 9 equals 1. In the past, when we have a solution and the solution doesn't work, what do we write? Invalid solution. Yep, you have to write that. So -1 does not work. Everybody write x equals 10. Does that mean x equals 10 is definitely going to work? Nope. What if they both fail? What would the answer be? No solution. Good. Everybody go log 10 minus the log of 10 minus 9 is equal to 1. The right-hand side is a 1. Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you. That's a plus. Put in the left and see if you get a 1. So everybody go log 10, close it. Plus the log of 10 minus 9 is 1, close it. Hit enter, 1 equals 1. So then I'm going to come back up. I'm going to write x equals 10. There's my answer. Okay, who says I'm good? Let me see. Who says I feel like I understand this? Okay, good. Okay, question E. 2 logs and a number that's not a 0. Condense and convert. So everybody go log base 6 of x plus 3 by x plus 4 is equal to 1. Now I'm going to convert it. So it's 6 to the first is, I could write x plus 3 times x plus 4. I could also FOIL it in my head. Can I FOIL it in my head and not freak anybody out? Is that okay? I'm going to FOIL it. So it's x to the second plus 7x plus 12. It's the same thing as x plus 3 times x plus 2. Move my 6 over, so I get x to the second plus 7x plus 6 equals 0. Factor, x and x. 6 and 1. Signs are the same, they're both positive. Look at the sentence. This really is a sentence. It's just a mathematical sentence. Is my sentence complete right there? It's an incomplete sentence. Nobody wants an incomplete sentence. What's missing? Equals 0. Lots of you are a little sloppy with that. Like when we're solving inequalities, you don't write the greater than 0 or whatever all the way down. Okay, anyway, x equals -1 and -6. Write the word check. Then put x equals -1. Then go log base 6 of -1 plus 3 plus log base 6 of -1 plus 4 equals 1. Everybody freeze for just a second. Am I taking the log of a negative right here? I'm not. So I'm thinking this is going to work. So if I put it in and I get something other than a 1, I either put it in wrong or I solved it wrong. One of those two things happen, okay? Everybody go log 2, close it off, divided by log 6, close it off, plus log 3, close it off, divided by log 6, close it off, hit enter, and we got 1 equals 1. So there's a negative answer that worked, okay? Everybody go x equals -6. You must write down log base 6 of -6 plus 3. That second, I know it's invalid, okay? Then we're going to go plus log base 6 of -6 plus 4 is equal to 1. I'm going to write the words invalid solution. I'm going to come up here and write x equals -1. That's the answer that I boxed. Okay? This one's going to be different. Why is this one different? Because you've got a subtractant, which means it's going to be a division. Yes. 2 logs in a number that's not a 0. It's going to be log base 4. I've got a subtraction, which means I'm going to have a fraction. The guy that goes on the bottom is the negative sign. So that would be the x plus 3. On the top is x squared minus 9. And then I have equals 3. Now freeze for just a second. I could convert. I could also do something else. Somebody tell me.
You can take apart the x squared minus 9.
Yeah, the x squared minus 9 factors. So let's just erase it. And let's write it as x plus 3x minus 3. Why did I do that? Now the x plus 3's cancel. So now I have log base 4 of x minus 3 is equal to 3. If you don't have parentheses around the x minus 3, that's a very different statement than what I'm saying, so be careful. Now we're stuck, so we convert it. So it's 4 to the third is equal to x minus 3. So I have x minus 3 equals 64. Pull the 3 over, x equals 67. Then I write the word check, and it's log base 4 of 67 squared minus 9 minus log base 4 of 67 plus 3 is equal to 3. You guys check the left on your own. Please don't fake your checks because it could end up burning you if you made a mistake when you solved it. Go ahead. Remember, if you have like log base 2 of 3, you have to write that as log 3 divided by log 2. You have to do it for this guy, and then you have to go minus and do it for that guy. So you have to do it twice. Okay, did you get a 3? Raise your hand if you need me to go through how to put that in your calculator. Anybody? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so there's the answer and we're done. Okay, let's go to G. 3 more and we're done. Okay, you're going to tell me what you would do. There are a lot of different ways to do this problem. I know what I would do because I think it would be easier. What would you do? Condense each side separately. That's what I would do. So then you have the log of x plus 2 over 3 is equal to the log of x plus 4 over x. Well, if the log of this is equal to the log of that, then this and that must be the same. So x plus 2 over 3 must be equal to x plus 4 over x. What do I do now, everybody? Cross multiply. So it's x to the second plus 2x is equal to 3x plus 12. Should I square root? What do I do? All on one side and then factor, right? So you have x to the second minus x minus 12 equals 0. Then you factor x and x. 12 goes to 3 and 4. Signs are different. Biggest is the negative. I get x equals 4 and x equals negative 3. Yep. Check. X equals 4. So it's the log of 4 plus 2 minus the log of 3 equals the log of 4 plus 4 minus the log of 4. You do it. Okay, do you get 0.301 on both sides? Yes? Okay, so let's check the next one. X equals negative 3, so it's the log of, okay, it is, you're so funny, a negative. You're right, it is a negative. So I was kind of trying to decide what to do. Okay, so anybody who's leaving, because you're not in my homeroom, I'm pulling out question H. I'm not doing it. I don't think we're ever going to see it. And it's tough. So then all we have after that is 4, which is so fast. Actually, stay here. It'll take me 30 seconds. Look at this. Negative 3 plus 2, blah, 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 blah. Invalid solution. Don't do blah, blah, blah. Really write it out. Okay? Look at example 4. What is the correct first step? You guys tell me. What do you do? Condense. So this is log base 3 of 2x minus 1 over x plus 2 equals 2. Don't write the log twice, it's just once, okay? Now, anybody that's leaving because you're not in my homeroom, that assignment might change. I might have to pull problems off because of the fact I chose not to do that problem right there. So I will text you if there's anything that I'm going to take off, okay? Okay, quiz next time. You bet. It's a tough problem, and I just have never seen it. I haven't seen it for a long time, so I think we're